目が覚めましたか？ずっと目覚めなければよかったのに。
And yeah, before we start, make sure to like, subscribe, and press the bell icon to get notifications for all our new videos. Origa Ojusama Gaku no Shomen Sample Toshida gets Soreta-ken. Kamito Kagurazuka is a commoner with a fetish for men's muscles. Or at least that's the lie he must keep telling himself if he wants to keep himself out of trouble at the elite all-girls school Seiken Academy. Kidnapped by the school under the assumption that he prefers men, Kamito is made to be their commoner example, exposing the girls to both commoner and man so that the transition to the world after school is not jarring. Bred with castration should his sexual preferences not match the school's assumptions, Kamito must keep up the facade to protect his manhood. But there are eccentric individuals around every corner who begin to make Kamito's life even more difficult. Among them are Aika Tenkubashi, a social outcast who blurts whatever comes to mind, Hakuo Shidome, a young genius, Karen Jinryu, the daughter of a samurai who is obsessed with defeating Kamito, and Raiko Asugawa, the perfect student who has delusions of marrying Kamito. Along with the commoner himself, these four girls make up the Commoner Club, which attempts to teach the girls more about life outside the school, while Kamito gradually learns about the odd girls surrounding him.
ちょっとあんた
桜子さん
Kurako-san no Ashimoto ni Washitai ga Umaru. A young man meets a girl who has a hobby of examining bone specimens. A pretty creepy premise, but somehow the series finds a way to make this not so creepy. Actually, it's presented more as an interesting mystery series. The problem is that the series has some missing points, so this entire show never really grabbed people's attention. Still, it does have interesting points in how different bones are investigated and teaches a little something along the way. Now, it's a rather low-key anime, but it's a rather decent watch for a mystery. It's a series you could watch if you feel up for a different sort of mystery one.
またもって俺がいつ
道場で二人きりで何をしておったのか私は知っているのだぞ。
Katanagatari. A blend of all kinds of things, Katanagatari sure isn't any ordinary anime you're used to watching. From the get-go, the art is something that makes it stand out from any other show that's been animated to this very day. It brings in the true feel of the anime, making us appreciate just how beautiful the show looks without any Gucci studio backing it up. The quest to gather those swords would be a tough one, that's for sure. But Shichika isn't afraid even a bit, since during the entire journey, he's with Tagome, the girl who he just can't take his eyes away from. You'll be seeing all kinds of characters as the show goes on, never getting bored even a bit. The fights make Katanagatari all the more special. From the first episode, you'll see some crisp animation with that well-done choreography that makes some of the fights look on par with the ones we give such accolade to. There's something for the comedy fans as well, so better not skip out on this show. You won't regret even a bit.
てめえは 少しは後先を考える
K Project. Being named just K with nothing else backing it up, they had to nerf the title since everything about the show is off the hook. From the get-go, featuring all these cool characters all swagged up and ready to kick ass. To sweep things up, we get to catch a glimpse of almost every one of them from the get-go, so your pupils get dilated before we're 5 minutes into the show. It features one of the best mafia groups in anime, giving Durarara a run for his money. An animation that goes hand in hand with the combat, taking it all the way to Wonderland while making it shine brighter and brighter along the way. It's truly an anime featuring something for everyone. Action? Check. Badass fights? Check. Cool looking characters with strength enough to blow the earth up in an instant? Check. fan service? Check, check, check. Whether it be Makoto, who just can't help but remind us of a mafia gangsta version of Lori Yagami, or Isana Yashiro, who gives us a happy-go-lucky look, making us forget that Goku or Luffy even exist. An incredible cast of characters with an arsenal of abilities that bring out the best in the business. Something that every action fan should watch.
このゲームはクソつまんねえ仕事なんかと違ってよせいぜいお前も楽しめよガキなんでってのねえに一番こんな楽しいもんがねえさ
Darwin's Game. High school student Kanami Sudao receives an invitation from a classmate to play Darwin's Game, a mobile game he has never heard of. However, as soon as he opens the application, a green snake suddenly pops out from his phone screen and bites his neck, leaving him unconscious. Waking up in the infirmary without any signs of a snake bite, he is told by the school to take the rest of the day off. Although he is puzzled by what has happened, he dismisses the surreal experience as a hallucination and boards the train home. Unfortunately, his curiosity gets the better of him, and he uses the application once again. As the application appears to be just like any other battle game, Konami breathes out a sigh of relief and decides to start his first match. However, the pleasant surprise is short-lived, as his in-game opponent unexpectedly appears right in front of him and attempts to hunt him down with a knife. As he desperately runs for his life, Konami puts two and two together and realizes that Darwin's Game is not just an ordinary game, but rather it's a brutal fight for survival. Cross Age, Rondo of Angel and Dragon, released in 2014 through 2015. If you're a fan of the non-stop hardcore mecha action of Knights and Magic, you are going to love Cross Age, Rondo of Angel and Dragon. It revolves around Angeles Ikaruga Mitsurugi, the first princess of the Mitsurugi Empire. At age 16, she finds out that she is a Norma, a disparaging phase meant to indicate people who don't have mana or the ability to operate technology with their minds. 4. Angels of Death. Angels of Death is a series based off of a rather obscure game and not much else. So it isn't surprising that the series ended up going fairly unknown outside of folks who know the game. But it's a surprisingly striking series from the get-go. You're dropped into a mystery that brings the chills quick. There's so much to question in this series that you'll need to watch the next episode and the next and the next. There's no real hero or antagonist since the stories vary a lot. Protagonists Zack and Angel pretty much bring you on a wild ride involving crazy characters and a mystery of missing memories. It could have been better in some parts, but overall, it's a different sort of series to check out with a lot of craziness. Number 3. Princess Principal. When you think about it, there's not a whole lot of anime shows that fully feature a spy story. And with many edgy series featuring a full female cast popping up nowadays, it's easy to see how Princess Principal got a bit passed over. However, the series has a lot more layers to it than you would expect. With the storytelling out of order, it only adds to the mystery as you go along. And it also helps that the action scenes are brilliant. There's a lot of ingenuity to be found with the story, so I think it's really well written. It's like on a big jigsaw puzzle, and each episode leaves you guessing in some way. Number 2. The King's Avatar. Esports is so anime at this point. In real life, we have people like Faker, Simple, and Sumail who make the game at times look so easy that we question ourselves as to whether they play an entirely different game or not. They've brought a part of anime in real life with all those references and everything that at times make them look straight out of the game. Being a Chinese anime, it hasn't got the best of fan bases out there since people fear the unknown and are quite hesitant to try it at first. But the ones who did check it out truly know what an anime esports world looks like. Giju might be a carefree, happy-go-lucky guy from the looks of it, but inside, he has a caged beast that comes out the moment his hands are on the keyboard doing all those actions that at times are hard to keep up with. However, he's no stranger, and the fact that he's god at the game is well known, and he has a lot of respect for his prowess. One of a kind. It's not one to miss out on. Number 1. Origami. Heavenly beings, gods, you name it. The anime is full of them with not more than a few mortals in sight. But the bonds that develop between them and how they don't have a god complex wanting a lot of followers and everything makes the anime all the more interesting. Yato, having one of the best voice actors to date, is a god who doesn't ask for much when it comes to fulfilling wishes. But that's not all. The anime has all kinds of elements to it, be it mystery, action, suspense, you name it. Being well known and recognized as the war god, he's not someone people go out of their way to trade blows with, since his past gives everyone an idea of how fierce he can be, and how he can literally cause havoc and destruction like no other. The anime features the adventures of him, Yukine, and Hiyori as they dive deeper into this world of gods and know more and more secrets to the universe and to Yato himself.